Hello and welcome, Magic lovers. So, one of my viewers asked that I bring back Shu Yun, this Silent Tempest. I have not played this deck in a long time. It's one of the first rogue decks I tried. And it was principally because I had just picked up Monastery Mentor and I really wanted to play that card in Commander. But also, Shu Yun is a very powerful commander when it lives. It does a lot of damage really quickly. So, it was a long time ago that I played. I was pretty new to the format. I made quite a few mistakes. Hopefully we can avoid many of those this time around. And I wasn't super familiar with a lot of the cards or decks back then. So, hopefully we can do a little bit better this time around. I've made some changes to the deck as well. I went through and I watched, and one of the things I noted many times was that the counter spells were not particularly good because you can't really cast them on your turn with an empty stack to trigger prowess. So I got rid of some of the more the conditional counter spells. Force Spike is a little less conditional, but I think, like Daze is free. Force Spike, I don't know. You just really don't want to be interacting on your opponent's turn unless you have to. Dispel, that really only... And then Stubborn Denial is pretty conditional. Spell Stare is pretty conditional. So I'm going to drop these. And then obviously there's the 4 spells that were banned. Unfortunately, Baral wasn't banned as Commander only. He was banned outright. So that card's got to go as well. So these 9 cards, I'm just going to drop them. So the cards that I've picked to replace them are, I already had Gataxian Pro, Peak, Portent, and Serum Visions. I was missing Opt, and since I lost a bunch of cantrips, Opt is at least better than Peak most of the time. But, in this kind of deck, it's pretty useful to be able to look at your opponent's hand. So I decided I'm just gonna run all of them. And then Mizzium Skins and Dive Down do basically what you want Dispel to do most of the time anyways, and they can actually counter sorceries as well. And they can be cast on your turn with nothing on the stack. Like, you don't have to have some spell on the stack that's targeting your creature in order for these cards to be good. I was also missing Chain Lightning, so I decided to put that in the deck as well. So these 3 cards are going to go in. And then the other thing I noted was that I was missing, that I probably needed more creatures. So I replaced 5 of the spells with creatures. Soul Scar Mage is an easy in, a recent addition. Really easy to add right in. Harsh Mentor, I think, kind of fits the theme of doing incremental damage to bleed your opponent to death. Bloodwater Entity is pretty good just as a 2/2 flying prowess for 3. It also lets you get back a sorcery. It goes on top of your library, or instant or sorcery. But I mean, that can be a ton of value. Like, it actually can be really good. So I'm gonna try this one out. And then the last 2 I'm less certain about, but I think they could be good. So Smuggler's Copter is obviously very good. I don't know how good it is in like a prowess themed deck, but looting is obviously very good. We can try and find the cards that we need to put together a win. And it also has pseudo haste. And it's pretty good, so I'm going to try it out. And then I'm going to try out a 4-mana prowess creature. I was avoiding it before, but I played against this one before, and it's actually pretty good if you can get it out and keep it alive. Because it can give Shu Yun flying. Doesn't just have flying itself. So this one is whenever you cast a non-creature spell, target creature gains flying until the end of turn. So it can give your whole, if you got enough 1-mana spells you can just give your whole team flying or something like that. So I'm going to try that out and see how it does. And then finally, I fixed up a couple of lands. Prairie Stream should have never been in the deck with only like 4 basic lands. And I saw myself playing that a whole bunch of times in my previous video, and it just looked miserable. So that one's going to go out. Mana Confluence is an easy sub. And then Cavern of Souls also wasn't in the deck. I think it should be in the deck. There's quite a lot of humans. So human is a really good pick for Cavern of Souls. And then I'm going to sub out the, Desolate Lighthouse is not really where you don't really want to spend 4 mana to loot in a deck like this that's so low to the ground. So those are the changes I've made. And I think this is a little bit more refined. I mean, there's still a few cards that I'm trying out and a few cards that I'm not sure about. But I think getting pretty close to a pretty refined. I mean, look at that mana curve. All those 1-drops. It's crazy. So let's go try it out. I'm ready to do some math because, man, this deck requires a lot of math. Alright, got a game. We are on the draw, playing against Atraxa. I have 1 land and no creatures. Gonna mulligan this. I have 1 land and no creatures. Gonna mulligan this. I have 1 land and a creature and a scry. I'm gonna keep this. I got a portent. Yeah, we want that. Alright, opponent plays a tap land, says go. Let's go ahead and portent. We don't need white just yet. We can get white with the Wooded Foothills. Portent ourselves. I guess that's the order. And we won't shuffle. Cards seem fine. Might shuffle that lightning bolt away. We don't have to though. We've got the other land. I think I'm going to play the Soulscar Mage. We might be able to play something off the Abbot at a future turn. I can't use the Nimbus Maze for blue. Maybe I should have played the Foothills. I don't know if I really care if my opponent uses removal. Better the Soulscar Mage than Shu Yun. Atraxa is going to be a bit hard to work around. Oath of Jace. Alright. Draw 3 cards, discard 2. So it looks like they're playing a Planeswalker deck. Leap doesn't do anything against Atraxa. Till the end of the turn, you may play that card. We don't know what that card is. Do I want to do that, or do I want to Shu Yun? I think I want to Shu Yun. My opponent has removal, then they're not playing Atraxa. Let's attack first. And Shu Yun can get around Atraxa fairly easily. Atraxa doesn't have first strike, so a double strike 4/3 can't be profitably blocked by Atraxa, flying or otherwise. It also makes it really hard for them to play a Planeswalker. Alright, land's really good. I think we do leap for the prowess. No on that one. Alright, so we got Call of the Gatewatch, a Johnny, Liliana. None of these really concern me. I'm definitely going to attack with the Soul Scourge Mage. Is it? Non-combat damage, I got ya. Alright, well let's burn it out. I should have done that during combat. Alright. A lot of crazy interactions with this deck. It's easy to miss a couple of them. Snuff out. Oh, that's too bad. Liliana Vess. Alright, I guess we'll discard Spell Pierce. Nope, they're searching for a card. Alright, let's play the Abbot. And play the Vantage. Wonder what they fetched. Get rid of the land. And Johnny or something else? No. Not interested. Do we hit Liliana? Or do we go for his face? I think, well, this is a bit slow. But if he plays Atraxa... I think I want to go for his face. I don't really care about the Liliana, I don't think. Pretty sure they fetched the doubling season. Hope we draw a non-creature spell we can cast with Shuyun. Alright, they can tap. Yep, okay, that makes sense. Not a spell I can cast. I can force a will whatever he searched for. I definitely need to hit Tamiyo here. They can Liliana Vest before casting the spell. Would be the smart play. That's what they did the previous turn, so yeah. That's too bad. So I'm just biting whatever spell. Call the Gatewatch. Search your deck for a Planeswalker card. What are you getting? Elspeth. You can't cast that this turn. You got removal? Yeah. Alright, I wouldn't have been able to counter anything anyways. That's brutal. Alright, well, that's... might be good enough. Oh, it's not Planeswalker. Jeez. Yeah. I'm just not gonna get there. Deck went over the top of me and also had a ton of removal. That Tamiyo kept my Shuyun tapped down. I definitely like the streamline of the deck. I haven't been drawing a ton of counter spells. I drew just a couple. I mean, do I keep going with this? Whatever. I can't cast Shuyun. Opponent can just cast Atraxa. They're scrying 3. It's a cool deck. I enjoyed playing the Atraxa Super Friends that I had. It's a bit slow, but when it gets going, like, it's hard to beat. They could just tap this down with Tamio or play Elspeth. Yeah, I forgot they had Elspeth. Elspeth's really good. I think this is over. Yeah, that's not a miracle card. It still doesn't cast me Shu Yun. Yeah, we'll just give him the GG and move on. Alright, got another game. It is a rematch. We're on the play this time. Playing against Atraxa again. His hand looks great. Especially the Mother of Runes and the Force of Will to protect the Mother of Runes. Being on the play will also help, and not mulliganing to 5 will also help. Alright, so let's Flooded Strand for a Tundra. And play ourselves a Mother of Runes. You have to answer the Mother of Runes right away, but, oh yeah, you can't. Sad to lose the Portent, but Mother of Runes is far more important. So let's get a land here. Volcanic Island. Play the Soulfire. Duress. Well, that sucks. Because we lose the Jet. They play a Temple. Alright, Valorous Stance. Missing a land sucks. Kind of a lot, actually, and we really want to be able to play Shu Yun here. We can destroy Atraxa, though. Not a land. A land. Let's attack first. Not that it super matters. Let's get... Yeah, I guess we go for the perfect set of lands. Chain Lightning gains us life. Doubling Season. Well, that's not great. I think we do Crimson Wisp. Draws us a card. Definitely in danger of a Planeswalker ultimate next turn. But it's their only real out. Got 4 cards in hand. I guess it depends on what Planeswalkers they have. Atraxa. Alright. That it? Might actually have you dead. I think so. Especially with only at 14 life. So we can... So much land. Okay. Yeah, they... I had the opposite problem. So... Chain Lightning them. Give Double Strike to Shuyun. Murder Unscathed, Soulfire. Makes this like a 5. This does 10 damage by itself, and then this does... And then 3 damage from the... I think that's enough. I think we... what do we need here? Doesn't super matter as long as it's not blue, right? Because blue is the one color we don't need. So we need one of these untapped lands. Chain Lightning their face. Pretty sure that does it. Looks like they're F6'd. And it looks like we definitely needed the Emergent Scathes on the Soulfire. Yeah, okay. And they had no Planeswalkers. Alright. Got a little lucky there. Also got unlucky not to hit our lands for so many turns because that allowed them to set up if they had good cards. So I guess it balances out. Alright, we got another game. We are on the play. Playing against Maelstrom Wanderer. We have a viewer here. We're missing a white mana. I don't know about this hand. It just doesn't seem to do a lot. I'm gonna mulligan it. Ugh. Yeah. Oh my god. Alright, I guess. Nope. He says he's on a crappy draw too. Alright, let's play the land. Say go. Hope we get some more lands. If my opponent plays a creature, we can cycle these. Opponent's not playing a creature. Man, I should have kept a hand that does nothing. Alright, opponent's stuck at 2 lands as well. Alright. Oh, they just missed a land drop. Crystal Shard. Alright. I should have drawn a land by now. We're probably way behind already, but let's see if we can make something happen here. Do you have removal? Fact or fiction? Jeez. I'm just gonna do that. Gilded Lotus gets him right to Maelstrom Wanderer. I can't beat a Maelstrom Wanderer. I don't think I can breed us rock either. I can, I have his swords. Alright, they took everything else. I think if I had given them the option to take Gilded Lotus and another card, they would have taken that in a second. I definitely wasn't going to give them Gilded Lotus in a land. Alright. I have to discard a card. Can play Shuyun. It was that or Soulfire Grandmaster and Crimson Wisp. I decided Shuyun was probably a little better. Alright, opponent just passing the turn. I would have really liked to have drawn a land there. Like, I've got enough spells already. I'm not playing the Monastery Swift Sphere. I need the mana available. I can't activate this ability either, because if he counters this or something like that... Can I? No, I don't think so. You could have bounced it. Another reason I couldn't have done that. Yeah, we can't play Monastery Switch here. He's taxing our mana when we have 3 mana. Oh, that sucks so bad. Alright, Rampant Growth. Hopefully an opponent doesn't also play a land. Alright, they missed a land drop. Something. It's a lot of triggers. Can't pay for that. Yes, yes, please. Two damage to each creature and each player. Oh, yeah, I don't even need to do anything, do I? He missed the, missed quite a lot there. Alright. Yeah, because I didn't have the Reflecting Pool in play. I couldn't have Boris Charmed with the Prowess trigger on the stack. He hits. He hits his mana for Maelstrom Wanderer, though. It only takes like one good hit here. One Power Stone, not it. Rashmi, not necessarily it. Need a mana here. Alright. Is that enough? Shadow Rift gives a double strike. We need 12, 13 damage, so we need this thing to be 7. Opponent can probably just return. Yeah, it's going to be really harsh. Let's draw a card. I think we need to make this double strike no matter what. We can leap this. Is that enough? Because then, we either need to do 13 damage or we need to do 23 damage. I don't know if leaping it doesn't really hurt. It draws a card as well. Whatever. It's a land. We're going to be 1 damage short, aren't we? I'm going to put him to 20 commander damage. And then, and let's just, doesn't matter which creature we pick. Still a bunch of damage. Yeah, they can Crystal Shard the Maelstrom Wanderer, replay the Maelstrom Wanderer, and like the chances of them whiffing are almost 0. Or they just have something amazing already. Oh, okay. I think, yeah, we're dead. That actually kills us right there. Alright, well, I mean, I still think that was an interesting game. I'll probably use this. A lot of times when one of the two players gets mana screwed, the games don't end up being very interesting, and I just don't post those. But this one was pretty interesting. I thought it was, we almost got there, so I think that was fun, even though I was mana screwed for a long, long time. Alright, we got another game. This is a remake against 1.21 gigawatts. And, yeah, he is on the play this turn. I'm going to keep this. We're missing red mana, aren't we? This hand at least does something without red mana, though. Opponent cracks a polluted delta right away. Playing around Stifle, I guess. Gives me free information. Drawn the Slayer Stronghold a couple of times when I would rather have colored mana. I think it's probably still good enough. I've actually never been able to activate it. It's a bit expensive. Maybe it's not quite good enough. The color requirements of this deck are pretty intense. Oh yeah, we can't play the Abbot unless we draw a red land, and then the Abbot's not as good. Kadoma's Reach is fantastic. That was they already played their land drop for the turn, so they're at 4. Alright, well we get to renown this guy at least. Think Fire and Ice. This is 2 removable colors. It's pretty hard to play around. go ahead and get that. And play it, or do we play Shu Yun? Most times it's correct to play Shu Yun. I don't know if this is the time, though. I think it's correct to play the sword. Although we do want to, like, win before they hit 8 mana. And there's 8 mana. Opponent's got a crazy fast hand. Missing land drops again. Jeez. So unlucky. Oh, maybe I should have mulliganed. Harsh Mentor is a little late to the party. Sword's not particularly great against Maelstrom Wanderer, especially when opponent's already at 10 mana. What's the pause for? We know you're going to slam Maelstrom Wanderer. I mean, you always slam Maelstrom Wanderer when you hit 8 mana. You're going to do something else? Says maybe a stupid move, but I'll try it. What is this? You're tapping all 10 mana. Alright. Are you going for land destruction? Alright. Wildfire doesn't kill this thing. Obliterate does. Alright. That doesn't kill the Relic Seeker because it's pro-red. I think you want to wait until you've got a better board position to try this. It's a decent board position because they've got, I think they still have 8 mana to 3, 6, 7, 8, yeah. What's with these lands, man? You've got to be kidding me. Alright, well, Thas is not getting cast. Sword of Feast and Famine is not getting cast. I mean, Swords of Plowshare is still not very good against Maelstrom Wanderer. Opponent's already back up to 10 mana. I think he's kind of toying with me. Sirach. Alright. Both red and blue. Sylvan Tutor. Alright, can't cascade into that. Pathbreaker. Oh, well that's darn good. That kills me next turn. Unless I swords it. So that's 13 damage. Need a land here. A white land. I think a white land might actually win it for me. Not quite, actually. I think I lose anyways. Alright, so we lose here. Keep running any of these decks that go over the top of us really well. Oh yeah, Greg would do that, yeah. I'm gonna let him do all this damage to me because it's kind of awesome when you do. It always feels good to put somebody at like negative 30 life, negative 20, and 21 commander damage. Oh well. All right, we got another game. We are on the draw versus Krenko guy. Who is, not surprisingly, playing Krenko. Sacrifice a goblin, regenerate target creature. I don't know how we're going to do against Krenko this one. We can't play that. That's unfortunate. Alright, so I mean, it's pretty clearly Stoneforge, and it's pretty clearly Jit. I think next turn is pretty clearly Shu Yun. Goblin Chieftain. Alright, well, the Haste Goblins, it's going to hurt against Krenko. How do we get out of this? If we fire this guy, he just sacrifices this guy to regenerate him. I mean, I guess we just play Shu Yun. We're going to be dealing with a bunch of goblins. So we're off to the races. We could possibly flash in the sword. Opponent can block pretty well. Yeah, you think? Oh, those have haste too? Jeez, that is a clock. All right. I can't play and equip the Jit and do something else. He can sacrifice this thing to make the Jit not do anything. So the Jit is probably no good. Alright, this is an instant. It's rough. Opponent has a lot of good things going for him right now. Let's see. I think I need to try and fire that thing. Opponent will probably just sacrifice this thing to protect it. I'm kind of hoping they make a mistake, to be honest. And they did not. Alright, well, I'm not blocking with Shu Yun. Wow. Opponent just got everything, didn't they? I mean, good for him. Holy cow. I've beat him a number of times, and even though I'm on kind of a losing streak with this deck, it's good to see him actually making Krenko work. And this is 21 damage right there. All right, let's just I'm gonna let him do the damage. Give himself a well played. Okay, whatever. He's a good sport. Anyways, so. Alright, got another game. I am on the play. Playing against Animar. Alright. Not really any creatures. On the play at least. Probably should have played the Arid Mesa. Alright, opponent has turn 1 ramp. Which means we might be in trouble. Animar fortunately doesn't have protection from Shu Yun or from Lightning Bolt. Does have protection from Swords to Plowshares, Path to Exile, etc. Not playing Animar. Earthcraft, okay. I mean, that's a lot of mana. I kind of get it. Let's get a Steam Vents, I think is the correct. This is basic land, so they can't untap the tropical island. Opponent's probably going to get a go off pretty hard. Let's go ahead and crack this for Plateau, I guess. Mana's been pretty good. Animar decks don't usually have a ton of removal. Let's hope we can dodge it. Five mana. Alright, there's Animar with 2 mana left. They use the Wall of Roots, so they're clearly going to use the mana for something. I think. Nope. That's strange. Probably worth looking at their hand. Let's take a look. Do I want to give them Double Strike? Might force the chump block. Could do a ton of damage right here with the God's Willing. I'm going to go for it. Gilded Drake. Cloud of Fairies, Imperial Recruiter. Alright, so we need to protect ourselves from this Gilded Drake. Alright, let's play Reflecting Pool and swing in. Alright, they don't block anyways. So don't really need the God's Willing. The God's Willing has a Scry 1, whereas Mizzium Skin does not. So it's probably correct to use that. Alright, Cloud of Fairies untaps a land. It didn't. I needed to screenshot their hand. I always forget the peek is look and not reveal, so it doesn't show up in the revealed card zone. I don't remember what the other two cards were. Imperial Recruiter, that was one of them. Okay. Well, if they get something like... Alright. Phyrexian Metamorph. That's interesting. Oh, Muldrifter, that was the other one. Okay. It's going to be hard to get in past this many colors. It's a lot of mana. These are both eye control, so I can't, like... Yeah. Alright. Imperial Recruiter kind of loops. Shrieking Drake. Yeah. That lets him add a +1/+1 counter for each blue mana. Woodland Bellower. Jeez. Opponent is going off. Well, I couldn't have killed him in that one turn anyways. Animar's a good deck. No doubt in that. You got Gape Creeper Vine? Oh, you can... Okay, you can Shrieking Drake, tap it, untap an island, bounce it. Let's see if he sees it. I'm sure that's what he pieced together. Yeah, it looks like... Did he play a land, though? Oh, he bounced the Metamorph. Okay, so he can pay 2 life to put... He needs this thing to have 21 power to kill me. I don't think he can pay enough life. All right. We definitely still have outs. I'm probably going to God's Willing on my upkeep. I need 3 colors though. Like that's going to be almost impossible to get damage in. I guess I could get like Leap or something like that to give it flying. So I guess my best bet is to name Pro Blue with the God's Willing to get it past the Flyers. Because opponent shouldn't have me dead this turn. Or do they? Are they going... Oh, power 2 or less. Fierce Empath, cast it for 1 green mana, and then cast Ulamog. Is that what they're going for? Okay. That was convoluted. But the deck is pretty convoluted sometimes. Uh, we can Mizium skin to protect our Shuyun from the Ulamog. I assume he's getting... he could get Emrakul. Emrakul is actually better here than Ulamog. Kozilek. Draw 4 cards. Alright. Well, no amount of protection is going to get us through that thing. Opponent's going ham. Just absolutely ham. Alright, Veteran Explorer. Got a way to sack it. I would actually like those lands. I don't know if it matters a super lot. Trinket Mage. Alright. Opponent's probably wondering what I'm hanging on for. I'm starting to wonder that myself. There's like one card in my deck that gets me out of this. What do they give a Trinket Mage? Skull Clamp. Okay, they Skull Clamp the Veteran Explorer. Or they're doing the Cloud of Fairies. They can tap all these creatures to make green mana. Oh. I think that takes all of my outs. Oh, no, no, I control. It does take leap out of my outs, though. Opponent is taking a 20-minute turn. Earthcraft. Like, when it works, it is dumb how good it is. Sometimes it doesn't really work that well, but man, when it works, it is just stupid how powerful it is. I guess Shadow would work. It's got to be something I control get Shadow, though. Let's get Island and Plains, I guess. Alright. Opponent's at 5 life. Not entirely insignificant. They could actually get to 21 with Animar, though. Oh, there it is. Alright. Alright, we got another game. We are on the play. Playing against Ezuri, Claw of Progress. Alright, we'll keep this. I guess Tundra Serum Visions. Or do we hold the Serum Visions for the Kiln Fiend? No. Because that's the turn we're going to want to play Shuyun. I think I want both of these. Alright, let's get a Volcanic. And play Kiln Fiend. Alright, I don't think we're going to do anything special here. Play Shuyun. Shuyun's just so good. You can also give this thing double strike, which this thing gets big fast. Alright, Champion of Lamphold. Alright, so I can slip through space this thing, give it double strike. Pass that thing. It's pretty good, isn't it? And then we have a Sword of Feast and Famine next turn. I think that's... we don't really need to slip through space. How much damage does it do? So it's 4, 7. If we do both spells, times 2 is 14. And then this one would just be 5. So we could do 10 commander damage, or we could do 19 damage, or we could just do... What would it be? It'd be 4 times, so 8 plus 4 is 12 damage. Versus, what did I say, 19? Slips through space, draws a card, and uses our mana well. What? Okay. It's like, what abilities do I need to put on the stack? They're not targeted. Yes, please. It's a lot of damage for, what, turn 4? Sword of Feast and Famine doesn't necessarily kill my opponent. I don't think holding the slip through space would have done it either. But it was much more mana efficient. Alright. Not going to pay for that. Just going to equip it to this guy, because he does more damage right now. Got him on a 1-turn clock with 2 counter spells up. Ezuri's fast, but this is lightning fast. I mean, you're dead, right? Like, you can't block this, and then you're... Yeah, okay. I mean, I was going to counter it just because, but it's he's dead anyways. Okay. So that wasn't a really good showing for Shu Yun, and unfortunately, I think that it's pretty much outclassed by most of the decks in the metagame. What I can say, though, is that I really did enjoy those games. I thought they were a lot of fun. There were a lot of games where we came pretty close, and even the games where we were losing pretty bad were pretty enjoyable. There were a couple of games that I didn't post. I played against Leovold and Tassiger, and they were not even close. I think against those really refined, heavily removal and counterspell decks, you're going to have that problem. Like, the key problem with the deck is that there's not enough creatures, and you have to keep a lot of hands where you just have no creatures in your starting hand. You're relying on Shu Yun, and if they remove or counter it, you're just going to fold over and do nothing. And so I don't normally cherry pick decks matchups like that, but those matchups weren't fun to play. They weren't fun to watch, and they were really, really short. So I didn't figure there was any merit to really posting them. I just wanted to tell you after the fact that it did happen, and so the matchups, the record's actually worse than what it looks like, which doesn't say a lot for the deck. But the deck is really cool. It's really fun. So if you really like this kind of thing, I don't know if there's anything you can do about the creatures. Maybe the problem is that most of the creatures without prowess, like even Soulfire Grandmaster, which looks really good on paper, it's just not great. For all these abilities that you're trying to, you draw a card with Shadow Rift, but spending 1 mana to get 2 damage in, it's just not very mana efficient in a deck that really needs to be streamlined on its mana. So you really need to be stacking those prowess triggers or other such things, such as Kiln Fiend, or any kind of way you can get incremental damage, or make those come in for more damage than, like if you're doing Shadow Rift and swordsing a creature and then doing something else, then that's great. Or you're using Shu Yun's double strike trigger, but if it's still only 4 damage, that's not great, versus if it's on Shu Yun, then he does a ton of damage, but he might not always be around because, you kind of need a plan B, and there's just not enough creatures that can even actually go in the deck that would work really well with this strategy, I think. You're not playing in green where you get a bunch of pumps. We got a few pumps from red, but they're not... they're not super big. They're not super critical the way the green pumps can be. So, we're not playing a stompy deck. We're trying to play a prowess deck. And there just aren't that many good prowess creatures that have been printed yet. So, as more come, it might make this deck a little better. But for now, I think this might be relegated to the for fun room. Killing people in one hit every once in a while. But against heavy removal decks, it's going to fold a lot, but it shouldn't stop you from playing it. It's a really fun deck. I'm going to, I'll probably continue to play it from time to time. But that's all for tonight. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.